this is Brianna. Welcome to my channel. So my video today is going to be a little bit different. I woke up feeling inspired, so I figured I would try to do some inspiring myself. So this video is going to be for those who maybe want to learn about what my journey was getting into this accelerated nursing program. For those who may be feeling a little discouraged about nursing school or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the video. It's a story time. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions while I'm talking, make sure to put them in the comments below and I can address them in another video. So here we go. So I knew that I wanted to go to nursing school as soon as I graduated from undergrad. I know that doesn't make any sense. I know that a lot of people usually figure that stuff out while they're in undergrad, but no. It took me a minute to figure out what I wanted to go into, what I wanted to do. And I knew that nursing was for me. I've always worked or volunteered in hospitals, and I love the hospital setting. I love working with the patients. I love being around the patients. I just love everything about hospitals. So after doing some volunteer work, I knew that nursing was the career for me, especially since a lot of people that are close to me said that they also felt that that was going to be something that was good for me. So I started looking into programs after I graduated from undergrad where I could get a nursing degree. And I came across this subcategory called second degree or accelerated nursing programs, where if you have a bachelor's degree already, you can get a nursing degree in less than the 4 years that it takes to get a bachelor, like a nursing degree in a traditional bachelor's program. So I did a lot of research, and the first school that I came across, of course, was U of M, was my alma mater. So I did some research on them. I started looking at what prereqs they needed for their program, and then from that moment, I enrolled myself into a community college where I was starting to take those prereqs. So I had just started working full-time at the cancer center, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to juggle taking classes and going to work and all that at the same time. So I would work from 8 to 5, and then I would go to class from 7 to 10 o'clock, maybe 4 or 5 days a week. And it got a little stressful. I was taking, like I said, I was taking U of M's prereqs at the time. And the funny thing is, this was 2015, okay? It is now 2020. So it's been a 5-year process for me. When I was taking the prereqs for U of M, in the middle of the semester, so I was taking a class that only U of M had on their prereq list. This is where I was getting upset. So in the middle of my semester, I received an email from the program, and they had said that the cohort that was currently in the program was going to be the last cohort for that program at U of M. And I was upset because I'm like, okay, I'm taking this prereq. I could have saved my money. I could have looked at other schools. I could have did this. I could have did that. And I was upset because I'm like, I'm taking this class and I didn't even have to take it. So they ended up getting rid of their program. I got a little discouraged. I'm like, okay. So I started looking at other schools. And then I looked at, I'm like, I'm already here in Ypsilanti. I might as well continue to look around the area. So I found that Eastern Michigan had a program as well. So I started taking the prerequisites for Eastern Michigan. And this was a year after the U of M thing, because I was just exhausted at that point. I'm like, okay, I just need a little break. So I started taking the prereqs for Eastern Michigan, and I took some classes that were at Eastern because I heard that they went off of a point system. So you get more points for taking the prereq courses at Eastern Michigan they do cost more taking them at Eastern Michigan. So I was a little hesitant to take them because I'm like, I can just take these at the community college, but I was trying to do everything I could to get these points so that I could get into the program. So I took some classes at Eastern. I took my TEAS test at Eastern. I took a couple other things that were specific for Eastern Michigan because I was working so hard to get into their program. So this was 2016 through 2018. And I'm going to explain why it was 2018. So 2016 through 2017, I was taking these classes. I got good grades in the classes. I was getting A's. I was getting B's. I was like, these classes are great. They wanted a 3.0 grade point average. I'm like, I'm good in that department. So I applied the first time and I just knew I was gonna get in. I'm like, okay, I got these grades. I got the volunteer hours. I got all this stuff. Like my TEAS test could have been, my ATI TEAS test could have been a lot better. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really good at standardized testing. I don't like it, I hate it. So I'm gonna have to prepare myself for the most important standardized test of my life. But back to the story. Well, I did my my application, I did the essay, I did all the stuff that they needed. So I was playing the waiting game, you know, and then a couple months later, I get my decision and I didn't get in. So I went to go see the advisor and I talked to her and I asked her what I could do better. So there were some classes that I had taken already that I took over to get a better grade so that I can have an even better chance of getting into the program. Now, I told you I got A's and B's in my classes. So the classes that I got B's in, I took over so that I could get A's in them. I know that it sounds crazy because B's they're not bad grades, but these nursing programs are extremely competitive. I will say that. They are competitive. So the higher the grade you get, I know they say grades don't really matter, but they do. So the higher the grade, the better. I'm just gonna say that. So I took the classes over. Another year went by. I was feeling discouraged. I'm like, okay, I'm pushing more years. I'm getting older. I'm ready to get into this career. I'm ready to just be a nurse already, get into nursing school and do this. So I'm taking these prereqs again. I'm taking anatomy and physiology again. And when I tell you, the anatomy and physiology class that I took was combined. So it was anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 put together that I took at a community college. So it was a lot of information crammed into one class instead of doing them separately. So I took that class over, which was kicking my butt, but I ended up getting the grade that I needed. So fast forward to 2018, I applied for Eastern Michigan's program again. And I'm like, there's no way I won't get into this program. There's no way. Like, everything that they want, I have done. I've retaken the classes. I've done this. I've done that. Like, I'm getting into this program. So I was so sure. I'm like, I can't wait to get my decision. A couple months go by and I get my decision. And once again, I didn't get into the program. So I'm like, okay, what is going on? So at that point, I ended up talking to my advisor again, talking to the people who were over the application and everything. And I asked them, I'm like, okay, so what's the reason that I didn't get into this program? And they told me that it was due to lack of seating in the program. Now, there are a lot of nursing students out here who are trying to get into these programs, but unable to because of this very reason. And they say that they can't add more students because there's not enough faculty to teach the classes and this and that. So I'm thinking in my head, why not get more people to add to this program so that more of us who actually want to be nurses, who actually want to do this, who actually want to make a difference and take care of these patients and make them better and everything, why not do what you need to do to allow more of us to get into the program? So I was getting frustrated at that point. So I stopped applying to Eastern at that moment. So I tried one more time and I applied to Washtenaw Community College's nursing program. Now theirs is a little bit longer than Eastern's program because it's through a community college. So it was like a year and a half, I believe, instead of like the 12 to 14 months or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I just know it was longer than Eastern Michigan or what U of M's might have been. So I applied to Washtenaws because I'm like, this is my last resort. And yes, I did apply to one school at a time. People tell me all the time I should have done multiple schools at a time, but I knew I wanted to be in Michigan. So I only focused on Michigan schools, and I was stressed about moving around a lot. So that's why I stayed in the area that I lived in, stayed looking at the schools in the area I lived in, so I didn't have to move and pay all these fees and do this and do that. So I took a couple of the classes for Washtenaw's prerequisites, and I ended up taking a class, like a CNA class, because you needed to have a CNA certificate in order to apply for Washtenaws program. Now, that class was actually beneficial because it did teach me a lot about the nursing career. Like, you're a nursing assistant. You're learning the different things it takes to be a nursing assistant. And that's a lot of things that help the nurses in the hospitals and everything like that. So I did enjoy my CNA class a whole lot. I loved it. So I took the class. I took my TEAS test again, and I applied for Washtenaws program. And this was in 2019. And I get my decision after the application period has ended and they start rolling out the decisions, and I didn't get into their program. So 3 strikes, usually it's 3 strikes, you're out. So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe nursing isn't for me. Like, maybe God is leading me down a different path. Maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I need to start thinking about other things. So I was very discouraged at this point. I was tired. I had been working full time during this whole time, taking my classes, taking these night classes, not sleeping, doing homework at night. I was exhausted at this point. And I'm like, I've been working my butt off for years now, and it's not getting me anywhere. I'm not getting into these programs. I don't know why I'm not getting into these programs because my grades are great. I'm doing these extracurriculars. I'm doing everything that they're telling me to do for their prereqs. So at that point, I was just doing whatever. I was working. I got a new job at the VA at the time, and I was just like, I'm just gonna work and then figure out what my plan B is gonna be, because clearly it's not gonna be nursing. So I'm working, and then I go on this great vacation with my family for New Year and have a great time. And I come into the new year, and at first I wasn't going to apply. So this is where I'm going to talk about how I got into this program. So I wasn't going to apply for nursing school anymore. I had given up. I had said I was moving on from nursing school. I didn't want to do this anymore. I was tired of getting rejected. And for what? Like, getting rejected, it sucks. Like, it really does. And it hurts, especially when you know you've been working your butt off for something and it's just not working in your favor. So I was just focused on working, and then I talked to my family, I talked to my friends, and they're like, Brianna, you're literally meant to be a nurse. Like, you should not give up on this dream of yours. And I was just like, I don't know about that. I don't think it's for me. Like, there's a reason why I'm not getting in, so I might as well just go along with it. And they're like, no, I think you should try one more time. So I did some more research, and I came across Detroit Mercy's program. And I was like, okay, they have a lot of the classes that I need, well, that I've already taken to get into the program. So I might as well go ahead and apply. So I got my application together, talked to the counselors and everything, making sure that all of my prereqs were good, everything was good. And then while I was applying, I got an email saying that I needed to take algebra over because I had taken algebra. I had gotten an A in algebra, but the time that I took it had expired from within the 3 years that they needed me to have the class, because I had taken it at the beginning of my nursing school process. So I had to take algebra over, which I was not happy about because math is not my thing. I'm not even gonna lie. I do not like math. I've never liked math, and it was stressing me out that I had to take this math class over, but I'm like, if this is all I gotta do, then that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna push through, I'm gonna do this. So I took the math class over, I did my application, I turned my application in, and I waited. And I was stressed out because I'm like, what if I don't get in? There were a lot of what ifs because I'm like, I've already been through this 3 times, and pretty much 4 because I couldn't do the program the first time. But I was just doing a lot of what ifs, a lot of like negativity. And then I was like, no, this is going to be it. Like, this is going to be my year. So a couple months later, I get an email. And sorry, I got a little stuffy nose, but I get an email and it says that I've been selected to do the interview process. Now, I actually like interviews. I don't know about y'all, but I love interviews. I feel like I can show my personality, and I just like talking. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to knock this interview out. I'm about to get in. This is about to be good. So I did the interview, and it was in front of the professors that I actually have now and the dean. And I did the interview, and a couple weeks later, I got the email saying congratulations. And I cried so hard. I was at work when I got this email, and I got up from my desk. I went in the bathroom. I called my family. I called my friends. I'm like, I cannot believe what I am seeing right now. So it was a 5-year process for me. You know, it was a long journey for me, a long, tiring journey, but I would not trade it for where I'm at right now. My mindset is different right now. I'm more focused right now, and this is what I want. So now that I'm in this program, even like yesterday, I did not feel like doing any homework. Like, I've been so tired, but this is all going to be like, this whole journey is going to be worth it as soon as I have BSN next to my name. So I wanted to tell this story just to say that I know how stressful it is. I've been where you guys are. I've cried. I've been frustrated. I've been discouraged. Don't give up. If nursing is what you want to do whatever you need to do in order to make that dream a reality for you. Go to your support system. Like I said, if it wasn't for my support system, I would have never tried the last time. And I'm just being honest. I had already got it in my head that I was done. So thank you for pushing me to follow this dream, to continue to follow this dream until I got to this point, because I am so grateful for where I am at right now. If you need to apply to more than one school at a time, if you need to take classes over, if you need to talk to people at the colleges that you're trying to get into, talk to the counselors, talk to admissions, talk to whoever, do what you have to do so that you can get in, so that you can be a bomb nurse, so that you can live out your dream. Like, if that's what you want, it's yours. Like, manifest that. Manifest it. Manifest it. And I don't know, like, I don't know. just don't give up. Please don't. Because I promise it'll be worth it in the end. So yeah, that was my whole journey getting into nursing school. And I've been talking for quite a bit now. I didn't even realize it. So I'm going to stop the vlog here. If you have any questions or anything, or have any suggestions or anything like that, make sure to let me know in the comments and I will make sure I address them. But keep striving for that nursing goal, y'all. You won't regret it, I promise you. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to push that like button and spread the word. I'm a new YouTuber. I'm trying to get into the hang of all of this. So I will be back with some more videos for you guys, and I hope to talk to you soon.